And you can see those big impacts from the 69 caliber balls, and then you can see these little buckshot balls actually. And I think I was actually shooting 66 in my buck and ball. Hey there, Vero 311, former Marine infantryman, Revolutionary War reenactor, and amateur history enthusiast. And today I'm out here in the foothills of the Appalachians to be shooting through a variety of cartridges that would have been carried by infantrymen during the 18th century. Throughout this video, I'm going to be shooting just your regular ball cartridge, as well as buck and ball, and also double ball. But starting off, we'll be doing just your regular ball. What am I shooting? I am shooting a Pedersoli English musket, also known as a second model short land pattern, or more commonly known as a brown Bess. This is a 75 caliber smoothbore flintlock musket, military musket, and it actually shoots a 69 caliber ball. So why am I shooting a smaller ball than the diameter of the barrel? Black powder is a very, very dirty firing mechanism, or dirty girl. So if you shoot a tighter tolerance of ball to the caliber, over time the fouling from the black powder will reduce your rate of fire. You're doing a trade-off for accuracy for rate of fire. You could fire this about 3 to 4 rounds a minute if you are a well-trained soldier. So we have our single ball loaded down to the breech, and yeah, let's take our shot. Hammer stall is off and our target is behind me at about 25 yards. So let's take that single shot with the 69 caliber ball. And a hit. I am actually aiming quite low on the target, and I actually hit right about the belt line for my target down there. So let's move on and do another one of those single shot rounds. In my cartridge box, I have a variety of different cartridges to include the ones I'll be shooting today. I've been able to find one national parks document to say how many rounds were issued with how much powder, and I was able to kind of get down to about 110 grains per cartridge, but it didn't really tell you if you have 24 rounds, do you have 20 ball and 4 buck and ball? Do you have 20 buck and ball and 4 ball? I'm still trying to figure that out. So let's take another shot. And I hit him off to the right. If you watched my videos before, you know I am not a very good shooter when it comes to flintlock. And that's why I put it at this pretty easy to shoot 25 yards. So the next up, I want to shoot my double ball. This I have seen referenced in a book that was used during the French and Indian Wars. I haven't really seen it being used in the American Revolution, but this is just 2 balls on top of each other, and it's about 110 grains. So let's see how this goes. This is going to be a heavy round. So our double ball right there. 2 for 2. Pack it down. All right. Next will be double ball. 2 ball on top of each other. That went nowhere. No hits on our target over there. And that thing kicked like a mule. I might have put too much powder in there. So 2 balls down the... Let's see if any damage was done to the gun. Gun is perfectly fine. So yeah, that was our 2 balls down. Nothing happened there. I have another one. Might as well shoot it. Another round of double ball. Maybe we should get a little closer, actually. I've seen this reference for double ball from the 7 Years' War in both the European continent as well as in North America. They said to actually carry a ball in your mouth and put it in. So yeah, let's go again. Nothing. So, double ball, is not giving you anything that I wanted. All right. The final part I want to do is buck and ball. We're going to pick that touch hole. And I don't remember how much I actually put in that last grain. But yeah, so the final couple shots are going to be this. This is buck and ball. What that means is that in this front component, there is 3 little buckshot, about 31 caliber, and behind it you have 1 larger ball. And then you got about 110 grains of powder. Buck and ball was very common during the American Revolution. It was used from the beginning into the end. During the Battle of Great Bridge, we know Americans carried buck and ball, and all the way to the Battle of Guilford Courthouse. There was Americans as well as British. Buck and ball, I read in the book, Long, Obstinate, and Bloody, is not effective anything past 35. So this is 25, so let's see if we can hit. All right, our first 3-in-1 buck and ball. So it looks like one of our buckshot hit low. So let's load another one. So we're at 25, and we're gonna do another. At 25, we'll do another buck and ball. Never shot a flintlock musket. I must recommend it. It is probably the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. There's not much that really can compete. All right, stick that in, come back around. And here we go. There we go. I can see it. So I have 2 buckshot and 1 ball. Okay, we got a couple more buck and ball. Let's there's like something on, there's a little bit of smoke coming off the ground, but that's fine. It's too muggy to really catch on fire. Let's shoot some more buck and ball. Let's actually take this back to about 35 meters. That is really pushing it for buck and ball, but let's see what happens. Nothing like the smell of black powder in the morning. All right, we're about 35 meters away, or I guess it should be yards because it's before Napoleonic era. I can't break the Marine Corps infantry out of me. It's always meters. So let's take a shot, buck and ball at 35 yards, meters. Potato. I could see. Might have hit something? All right, so at 35, it doesn't look like we're hitting much. Let's move over and start shooting. Let's do a shot of ball, actually, from 35. Just a single 69 caliber ball, aiming low. The barrel is getting much hot. That is why you have a wooden stock. So, let's take a shot. Beautiful. All right, let's keep it going. Should we go another 10? Let's do another 10. So I couldn't really get my camera set up over there, so we're just gonna not do that. So we're gonna actually do my newest one. So this is going to be 7 buckshot and 1 ball. We're gonna bump that up to about 20 yards because I want to make sure I hit. But I have in the book Long, Obstinate, and Bloody, there's a reference to the North Carolinian militia at the Battle of Camden in 1780. They used a 9-in-1 buck and ball. I didn't really feel like using that much of my buckshot, so I just did a 7-in-1. And we're gonna be shooting that from, let's go to 20. There's no way I missed this, right? So we'll finish it with that, with 7-in-1 buck and ball loaded. Let's take a shot. Hammer stall off. So much fun. Peppered. All right, let's come up and look at our target. So here's our target, Mr. Steele, and as you can see, he's been peppered with lots of different buckshot as well as ball. So put yourself in the enemy's shoes. If you're moving towards a line of Americans that are dug in and they're all loaded with buck and ball, and you're standing there and the guy next to you is standing there, you might not be taking that ball shot, but you might be taking a buckshot. There was Captain Fordyce at the Battle of Great Bridge, I think was hit by up to 14 rounds. He had 14 hits in him. He died, obviously, but a lot of those can be contributed to buckshot as well. And some of the guys might have been just firing buckshot completely. The killing power of buck and ball is not one to be overlooked, but that's what's so important about thinking about engagements during the 18th century, especially during the American Revolution. The musket, like this, can probably shoot 100 yards, maybe hit a man-sized target, but we have lots of primary sources that say anything outside of 50 yards is a waste of powder. So the musket is most effective the closer you get, and if you think about it in multiple different ways, not just the gun, but of the individual infantryman that is firing, or the militiaman. If this is your first time in combat, everybody gets jittery. Why the power of a veteran is so much, because they've been in combat before, and as soon as you see the enemy, if you start engaging at 200 yards, you're going to be burning a lot of powder, and by the time the enemy gets to you, you might be completely out of rounds. But if you wait until the enemy comes in to within, say, 30, 40, 50 yards for your first volley, such as they do at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse and throughout many battles of the American Revolutionary War, Battle of Bunker Hill, Battle of Great Bridge, you have that punch power of that 30 to 50 yards, which Nathaniel Greene calls the killing range. And that killing range is made even more apparent when you're loaded with buck and ball. And another thing to take in consideration is that after that volley, you switch over to the bayonet. The British were well known for their bayonet fighting techniques, partially because they have a lot of bayonets. And at the beginning of the American Revolution, the Americans don't have as many bayonets as the British. Towards the end, the Americans are starting to get there, but still throughout the war, that is why the British can rely on that one volley, close with and destroy with the bayonet, because who they're facing sometimes don't have bayonets. Even if they do have bayonets, they might not be well experienced with it. One of the few regiments that actually does is the First Maryland Regiment, and they are able to go toe-to-toe with the British Guards at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, but they are an exception, not the norm, because they actually have training with bayonets. I've read that they're at the Battle of Camden, they issued out bayonets the night before the battle. And if that's the first time you've ever had your hands on a bayonet, and you're going up against the British regulars that train with the bayonet, you're not going to have a good time. An interesting reenactor note, I have an original bayonet that goes to an original American Charleville, and the actual bayonets are much snugger than what we have for these reenactment ones. They actually do feel like a spear, because if you can feel it, you can see that shake. That's not correct. It should be basically like a spear. I'll get off my soapbox, but what is something that really stood out to you from this video and something that you think I could have added on? So with that, I'll close. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Yeah, thank you for your time. Until next time, take care.